Hi, this is teacher Nicole from Literacy Pittsburgh. Let's talk about the census. What is the census? The census is when the United States government counts every person who lives in the United States. Who should take the census? Everybody who lives in the United States should take the census. I'm not a citizen. Do I need to take the census? Yes. Citizens take the census and non-citizens take the census. If you are a permanent resident, you should take the census. If you live in the United States is your home, then you take the census. Is the census the same as voting? No, it's not the same. The census is when the government counts every person who lives in the United States. Maybe you got a letter in the mail. Okay, let's look at the letter. The letter is from the United States Census Bureau, and it says your response is required by law. Okay, you must answer the census. On the back, you can see you can answer the census online at my2020census.gov. You see the website there. Okay. There is a census ID inside the envelope. Let me show you the letter. Okay. If you got a letter in the mail, it will have a census ID. Every family has a different census ID. Okay, so when you go to the website, you can use a computer or you can use your phone. In this video, I will show you how to use your phone. Okay. So here is a picture and you see at the top it says 2020census.gov. Okay. The website is my2020census.gov. Okay, so when you go there on your phone, okay, you will touch the green button that says respond. Okay, you just touch the green button. The next screen will say, welcome to the 2020 census, and there is a blue button that says start questionnaire. You will touch the blue button. Okay, if you got a letter and you have a census ID, now you will type your census ID. Okay, the census ID has 12 letters and numbers. Every family has a different census ID. If you have a census ID, you will type the census ID in the boxes. Okay, it says, please enter the 12-digit census ID found in the materials we mailed to you or left at your door. So here you will type your census ID and then touch login. Touch login. Maybe you do not have a census ID. Maybe you did not get a letter. If you do not have a census ID, you can touch here. Okay. Right under the login button It says, if you do not have a census ID, click here. On a computer, you click. On a phone, touch. If you do not have a census ID, you will type your address. Okay? You will type your address. First, they will ask you a question. Please select where you were living on April 1st, 2020. Okay. If you lived in the United States, in any of the 50 states, or in Washington, D.C., then you choose the first answer. It says a U.S. state or the District of Columbia. District of Columbia means Washington, D.C. Or maybe you lived in Puerto Rico on April 1st, 2020. Then you choose Puerto Rico. If you lived somewhere else, a different place, you choose somewhere else. Okay. Now you will type your address. It's asking, where were you living on April 1st, 2020? Please provide a complete street address for your residence. Provide the street address you would use to have a package delivered directly to your residence. Residence means the place where you live. If you live in an apartment, your residence is your apartment address. If you live in a house, your residence is your house. It's the place where you sleep, the place where you live, the address on your building. Okay, so you will put first your house number, then your street name, then your apartment number. Maybe you don't have an apartment number, then you don't put something there. Okay, you only put apartment number if you have an apartment number. After your apartment number, you will type your city. And for state, if you see in the picture, there is a little arrow on the right. You will touch the little arrow and you will see 50 states. And you scroll and you choose your state. Okay? If you go to Literacy Pittsburgh, you will choose Pennsylvania. Okay? And then you will type your zip code. Zip code is 5 numbers. 15213 or 15201. Okay. After you put your address, then you will touch the arrow at the bottom of the screen. Now it will show you the address that you typed. You will read it and make sure it is correct. Then you touch Submit, the blue button, Submit. If the address is not correct, you make a mistake, then you touch the Revise button. Okay, if you see here in gray, it says Revise. So if you need to change your address, you touch Revise. If your address is correct, you touch the blue Submit button. The next screen is asking for your name and telephone number. You will type your first name, your middle name, and your last name, and then your telephone number. After that, you will see a screen with a picture of a house, and it says household questions. Next, you will be asked some questions about your household, and you will touch the green start button. Okay, household means all the people living in your house. In my house, there are 3 people in my household. Okay. Maybe in your house you have 5 people. It's every person who lives in your house. Babies, grandparents, husband, wife. Maybe you live with a friend. Okay? Every person who lives in your house is part of your household. Every person who shares the same address lives in your household. Okay, so here you will type how many people live at your address on April 1st, 2020. Next, you will type the names of every person who lived at your address on April 1st, 2020. Okay, it says, what is the name of each person who is living or staying at your address on April 1st, 2020? Maybe they will show you many names, or maybe there will only be your name. You can add another person. If you see the blue box on the right, it says add another person. Here you can touch add another person and type every person who is living at your address on April 1st, 2020. When you are finished, you will press the blue arrow to go to the next screen. Okay, after you put everybody, they will ask, did you remember everyone? Okay, the question is, were there any additional people that you did not already list? Okay, you answer yes if you need to add more people. You answer no if you already typed everyone's name. Okay, the next question wants to know if you or someone who lives in your address owns your house with a mortgage, owns your house with no mortgage, rents, or lives there for free, no money. Okay, so on April 1st, 2020 was the house, the apartment, the mobile home at your address. Was it owned by you or someone in your household with a mortgage or a loan? Was it owned by you or someone in your household with no mortgage or loan? Was it rented? Or did you live there with no payment, no rent? Okay, so if you choose owns, somebody in your household owns the house, then they are going to ask you which people own the house. Whose name is on the mortgage? Who owns the house? Maybe you own the house and nobody else. Or maybe you own the house and your husband or wife also owns the house. Then you choose both names. Okay. If you choose rent, it will ask you who rents the apartment, whose name is on the lease. Okay? Maybe it's your name, maybe your husband or wife's name, maybe a different person. You will choose the name of the person who rents the apartment. Their name is on the lease. Now you will begin to answer questions about each person that lives at the address. Only one person at your household needs to complete the census. So if you complete the census, you will complete the census for every person in your household. I have 3 people in my household. I have a husband and a son. I complete the census for me, my husband, and my son. I answer the questions for each person. You will see a picture of a little person and a name, and then a green button. Every person will have their name and a green button that says Start. First, you can answer questions about yourself. Okay, so what is, and it will show the name. My name is Nicole. So what is Nicole's sex? Male or female? Male means man, female means woman. Now you will choose the date of birth. Okay, so if I'm answering for me, I choose my date of birth. I type the month, the day, and the year. Okay, if your birthday is January 1st, you will choose January in month. Day would be 1, and then the year. Maybe you were born in 1960. You will choose the year. Maybe you don't know the birth date of someone in your house. If you don't know the birth date of someone in your house, do not type month, day, and year. You can type their age. Okay. Maybe you know someone's age is 65. You will type 65. Okay. Next, they ask a question about your race. For each person in your house, you will answer. Right now, we're answering for yourself. Okay, so is Nicole Hispanic, Latino, or Spanish origin? What does that mean? If you're from Mexico, Puerto Rico, Cuba, El Salvador, Dominican Republic, Colombia, Guatemala, Spain, any place where people speak Spanish. If you are from a place like this, or your mother or father are from a place where people speak Spanish, then yes. Okay? Or maybe you are not from a place. Me, I am not Hispanic, Latino, or Spanish. So I would choose no. Okay? So you answer for yourself. Okay? If you choose no, then you press the blue arrow at the bottom. If you say yes, then you choose the correct box. If you're from Mexico, then you click yes, Mexican. Or maybe you live in United States, but your parents were from Mexico, then you can say yes, Mexican American. Or maybe you are from Puerto Rico. Yes, Puerto Rican. If you're from Cuba, yes, Cuban. Or if your mother or father were from Cuba, then you say yes, Cuban. Or a different country where people speak Spanish. Yes, I'm from a different place. And then you type the name of your country. After the question, are you Hispanic? There will be another question about race. What is your race? Okay. Or if you're answering for another person in your household, what is this person's race? There are many choices. White, Black or African American, American Indian or Alaska Native, Chinese, Filipino, Asian Indian, Vietnamese, Korean, Japanese, other Asian. Maybe you are from Pakistan or Afghanistan. You can choose other Asian and type the name of your country. Native Hawaiian, Samoan, Chamorro. There are more. Other Pacific Islander or some other race. Okay. If you don't see your race, you can type some other race and say the name of your race. For each person, you will answer the same questions. You will answer sex. Are they male or female? You will type their birth date, month, day, and year, and you will answer questions about their race. If there are 6 people in your household, you will answer these questions 6 times. If there are 3 people in your household, you will answer these questions 3 times. Another question when you answer for other people in your house. I answer for myself and then I answer for my husband. Okay. They will ask me, how is this person related to you? Okay. And there are many choices. You will choose one answer. Here are the choices. Opposite sex, husband, wife, or spouse. This means a man and a woman that are married. Opposite sex, unmarried partner. A man and a woman, they live together, but they are not married. Same-sex husband, wife, or spouse. A man and a man that are married, or a woman and a woman that are married. Same-sex unmarried partner. A man and a man, they live together, but they are not married. A woman and a woman, they live together, they are not married. Biological son or daughter. This is a child that is your child. They were born from you. Adopted son or daughter. This is a child that is not your child. They did not come from your body. You adopted them. Stepson or stepdaughter. Okay, a stepson or stepdaughter, maybe your husband has children from a different wife. Those children are your stepchildren. Brother or sister, father or mother, grandchild, parent-in-law, son-in-law or daughter-in-law, other relative, roommate or housemate, foster child, or another person, non-relative. Okay, maybe it's your friend, maybe it's somebody else, somebody from your country, and they live in the same apartment. They're not related to you. Okay, so you choose the relationship of the person to you. When you finish answering each question for each person in your household, you can change your answers before you finish. If you want to change your answer, you touch the blue Edit button. Or if you finish and you don't want to make changes, you touch Start, green Start button to go to the last question, the final question. Here is the last question. We would like to make sure everyone is only counted once. Some people live or stay in more than one place. For example, with a parent, grandparent, or other person. While attending college, if you're in the military, if you live in a different place for work, if a family member lives in a nursing home, if somebody is in jail, if somebody lives in a different house in the summertime and a different house in the wintertime, okay, they want to know. Okay, so you will only answer for people who live in your house on April 1st, 2020. Okay, if sometimes your family member lives in your house, but on April 1st, 2020, they lived in a different place, you do not answer for them. Okay. So if there is a person that lives in two places, you will say, you will choose them. Okay, so if my mother lives with me sometimes and sometimes she lives in a different place, I would choose my mother's name and say she usually lives in a different place. Then they will ask you if you are ready to be finished. You have one last time you can make a change. If you would like to change something, you touch Edit Questionnaire. If you are finished, you touch Submit Questionnaire. Congratulations, you are finished with the census. Okay, I hope this video is helpful to you for how to answer the census on your cell phone. If you have any questions, you can ask me in the comments. Okay, have a nice day.